All right, so today we're going to talk about the community board and also the Wise Next coordinator. Probably we may need to align on a few pointers here and there because previously I had created this SOP such that the Wise Next coordinator is the same person who is going to organize the community board as well as update update the backlog. And this is not what we envision, or I'd like us to come to some sort of an agreement on how these two roles can run can run together. Let's start
Hmm.
with the community board. What do you envision? We already know what the community board does and how it should be conducted. So now we are at the like the person who conducts the community board? Should it be separate from the coordinator or like an independent contractor just to run the community board?
Um, how I see it,
Hmm.
and you will correct me.
Okay.
Like first of all, we have kind of projects and operations. Project to develop something. Let's say to
Hmm.
develop SOP.
Yes.
As soon as we have SOP,
Hmm.
we give it as an operation to run to someone.
Correct.
And if we have like our own people,
Hmm.
they will be, let's say, kind of our participants, right?
Hmm.
So, for instance, we can say so. For now, the first like four roles: event organizer, cloud operator, like website or AI developer,
Hmm.
and and product analyst. It
Hmm.
is kind of just entry level, like pre-entry level,
Hmm.
like, and they have a good span, right?
Yeah.
But when we go to the like the second level, like entry level, right
Hmm.
now we put project coordinator,
Hmm.
but I see it should be also kind of in addition, like
Yeah.
it should be kind of several different, like we need to work a little bit more about kind of chunking, not only like this project coordination, but I see we can put people say, okay, for 1 week you can
Hmm.
run, let's say, community, like, let's say welcome space. For
Yeah.
1 week you will run kind of that.
Hmm.
Like, and eventually community board will be like technology board and community board. They will be kind of at the top, kind of like kind of higher level, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And then we'll say you can right now you can coordinate your own project,
Hmm.
unscripted, right? So it will be scripted, unscripted,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So now, so definitely, if we don't have a participant, we
Hmm.
will try to bring independent contractors from outside, and
Hmm.
we can use this as a recruitment tool too,
Yeah.
right? We can say, oh, we're looking for kind of people if you want to join us,
Hmm.
because anyway, in terms of the marketing, we need to keep it kind of both together. We need to keep advertise for more adults,
Hmm.
saying we are looking for like KNX coordinator, right?
Yes.
And we need to look for school kids. So
Correct.
the idea is kind of in the best case scenario,
Hmm.
when the kid looks this advertising,
Hmm.
comes to his mom
Yeah.
or dad, and
Hmm.
he mom and dad saw this kind of KNX in their like pipeline.
Hmm.
Maybe it will be kind of a good kind of double hit.
Yeah.
So now, kind of with the community board, my perception is community board, we can make community board like so long, so big, kind of like unbelievably big. It can go to any direction, and
Hmm.
we can discuss everything forever. So that is why I propose to concentrate community board
Hmm.
only on financials.
Yeah.
Whenever kind of the definition will be whenever money is in place,
Hmm.
this is community board.
Yeah.
If money is not in place, kind of let's outsource. Let's move kind of to like farther. Let's say in terms of technology, it
Mm-hmm.
will be moved to the technology board. So
Mm-hmm.
technically, technology board can approve. Okay, we want to have this budget, right? And
Yes.
technology board will send this draft to community board. Community board will say, okay, we have technology board budget, we have this budget, we have this budget.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of rates, like you want like $100, but today we can give you only 50, or we believe that it's very important and
Mm-hmm.
we'll give you 200 because we want to make it kind of like twice faster or
Yeah.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So if we decide that community board
Mm-hmm.
deals only with the financials,
Mm-hmm.
so then it should be a separate coordinator, like community
Okay.
board coordinator, or we'll call it education coordinator, or like we need to come up, or CNM cyber coordinator, or whatever name we will come up.
Mm-hmm.
It will be kind of this coordinator who will run this like community board, which again, like community board space, right?
Yes.
Community board meeting,
Mm-hmm.
and like all the papers, right?
Yeah.
So, and Wise Next is a kind of a separate project.
Okay.
Wise Next, technically, it is the practice, right, for people. It
Yes.
is a practice for students,
Mm-hmm.
so they can try different jobs.
Mm-hmm.
They find what they like,
Mm-hmm.
find how it comes to compete over the job, or like present the results, and like to have this experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Wise Next is a separate big project. We
Okay.
can possibly combine two, but as far as I see, no,
Mm-hmm. No need. Okay.
Wise Next coordinator
Uh-huh. So,
cannot run like community board.
so
It should be a separate contract.
I have a question about the backlog and the wise and the community board coordinator. How can we
Yeah,
how can we make these two relatable, or how can we bring the backlog to the
but
community board
but
coordinator, or
but but
do
but
you?
this is all. But this is but this answer is all already kind of answered several times in my view. So
Uh-huh.
let's say kind of the Wise Next prepare their backlog, right? They have several, like Wise Next will have several backlogs.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say they will have some perspective. Okay, in terms of, let's say, MOFU, we
Mm-hmm.
want to create kind of a better registration page. We want to kind of make design for KNX. We
Mm-hmm.
want to do this. We want to do that, right?
Yes.
Like when Rahim came with the idea of priorities, it was a good, reasonable idea.
Correct.
So we cannot today, for our money, for the budget,
Mm-hmm.
it's not reasonable from my perspective, and I'm saying right now as a community board member, it's not
Mm-hmm.
reasonable to invest money into the design of redesign of KNX, right?
Yeah.
KNX as it is good enough in terms of design, in my view.
Mm-hmm.
But it can be still in the backlog, right?
Yeah.
Okay, if someone say, "Oh, I want to work on the design," okay, go for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is like non-profit project.
Yeah.
Why not? It is for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing kind of KNX doesn't make money at this moment.
Mm-hmm.
Go for it, right? You want to have practice, go for it.
Correct.
So whatever backlog Rahim did,
Mm-hmm.
actually this is kind of the product of this Wise Next coordinator or
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
scrum master or whatever we'll call it, right?
Yeah.
Or like technically it is a job of product owner in agile, like agile style. A
Mm-hmm.
product owner say, "Oh, I want this, 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 and I want that," right?
Yeah.
And in this case, my product will be kind of good enough, mature enough.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
With the community board, we'll say, "Okay, we will fund this,
Mm-hmm.
but we don't want to deal with that."
Correct.
So, and community board should approve any change into the backlog. So
Mm-hmm.
community board should approve the list of the funded projects, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say, okay, these projects we found and these operations we found, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we have like, let's say, community hour, like slash welcome space or whatever kind of
Mm-hmm.
coordinator, how we will call it.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny X, let's say, Kenny X coordinator.
Yeah.
We'll say this is no longer a project. We want to run it as an operation, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And we have kind of this money like as a contract to give to someone to run it.
Mm-hmm.
So again, this is the difference. Like backlog,
So backlog is
which
not.
community board will approve,
Uh-huh.
like backlog, which community board will approve,
Yeah.
should go over their approval decision. So
Mm-hmm.
any change in
Mm-hmm.
this official backlog
Mm-hmm.
should be approved by a community board. It's not just kind of Rahim decided, oh, I will write this, and that.
Yeah.
He acted more like this like Wisnex coordinator
Mm-hmm.
rather than a community board coordinator, right? What
Yeah.
he did was
Mm-hmm.
exactly kind of what
What's next?
by the what Wisnex kind of part
Mm-hmm.
should be, right?
Yes.
He didn't get to the kind of the final product,
Mm-hmm.
which will be say, okay, this is our backlog for this,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and um, and this part we want to fund this. We want community board
Mm-hmm.
to fund this part, right?
Yeah.
Which will require and these changes in our existing backlog,
Mm-hmm. So what I understand from
and then
your explanation is
hmm?
the backlog that we have at in the community board space is already approved to be funded.
Yeah, community board deals only with the funded kind of backlog, funded item backlog,
Yeah.
funded items, stories. Like I even don't know what we will have in the backlog. Like story, we will decide probably like stories or kind of features or like
Mm-hmm.
some descriptions or
Mm-hmm.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Like the board deals only with
Funded
those
project.
which, let's say, Whitesnake's kind of coordinator
Mm-hmm.
said. So like Whitesnake's coordinator say, okay, I need this to be founded, right?
Yeah.
Community board say, okay, we agree, or
Mm-hmm.
we disagree,
Mm-hmm.
or we agree on this, and that. We want you to modify this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some community board deals with money.
Yes.
Kind of Wisnex kind of deals with their like
Pro-
description of job, right?
yeah.
And in the backlog, Wisnex backlog,
Mm-hmm.
basically
Mm-hmm.
should be kind of it should be several backlogs
Mm-hmm.
separate for instance for Mofu,
Yeah.
and people will say so basically for what's next kind of coordinator,
Mm-hmm.
like how he or she will interact with their participants.
Mm-hmm.
They say, okay, there is a funded projects
Mm-hmm.
and operations
Yeah.
which you can like go for. Maybe funded projects, right? And
Mm-hmm.
operations will be on another level. So
Yeah.
let's say someone just coming on this like pre-entry level, right?
Mm-hmm.
No, like not operations yet. For instance,
Yeah.
they'll say, okay, here's your projects which you kind of this is the funded projects, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this is volunteer projects.
Yeah.
Like funded projects, you need to apply. Oh, by the way, we can say, okay, start with the volunteer projects. Start
Mm-hmm.
with the volunteer unfunded projects. Do
Okay.
something, show something,
Mm-hmm.
and then we will move you to kind of to when we see that you can do it, we can
Uh-huh.
move you to this like paid backlog, community board backlog, right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
You can compete. We will give you kind of some like certificate, our own internal certificate or
Yeah.
credential and
Mm-hmm.
now you can apply for this like paid projects.
Mm-hmm.
I like this idea, by the way.
Okay.
I didn't think about this, but why not? Why not?
Yeah, yeah. It's a good idea. Mm-hmm.
So we will say kind of this WiseNext coordinator
Mm-hmm.
will say to the participants, okay, guys, we're starting with our own backlog,
Mm-hmm.
and you need to do something in their like TOEFL backlog, then do something with the MOFU backlog, and do something with the TOEFL backlog, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in this case, we will kind of the backlog will be simplified, right? We
Okay.
don't need a separate like TOEFL, MOFU, whatever, right?
Yeah.
So this will be like three different spaces, like TOEFL developers,
Mm-hmm.
MOFU developers, BOFU developers, right?
Yes.
Uh,
So all these
and then
are part of the community board backlog.
no, no, it's not non-funded, not funded,
Not funded.
non-funded,
Not funded.
non-funded.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And if you do like volunteer project and MOFU, BOFU, TOFU,
Mm-hmm.
then you can kind of compete over this community board items.
Okay. Okay. So
And if you and if you feel something from this volunteer backlog
mm-hmm.
must be moved to the funded like project backlog,
Yeah.
kind of explain, and I will work and I will do my work to appeal to community board, or we will appeal together to
Mm-hmm.
the community board to include this
In the funded.
item into kind of the funded project backlog.
Okay. Okay.
So
So
again,
basically,
community board
uh-huh.
deals with the funded project backlog, nothing else. Nothing else. No any community KNX redesign.
Mm-hmm.
But community X redesign must be sitting somewhere. So
Yes.
KNX
Right.
redesign will be sitting in MOFU projects, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what we're saying
In
is,
MOFU backlog.
so the community board will have its own backlog that are funded projects, right?
Correct. It must be only funded project, nothing
Okay.
else.
So the community board.
Otherwise, we will go to kind of to
Mm-hmm.
many different things. So, like the community board literally will delegate
Yeah.
this kind of like volunteer projects
Mm-hmm.
to kind of to different coordinators.
Mm-hmm. All right. So okay, different coordinators for volunteer projects. So the community board contractor will be the one to update the community board backlog.
Correct.
All right.
Based on the approval.
Based on that.
Based on the approval, nothing
Okay.
else.
Okay. So the discussions will be
Community board.
in the community board
Yeah,
space.
community board backlog cannot be changed like Rahim was changing it.
Mm-hmm,
It
mm-hmm.
just it shouldn't be done this way
All right.
because this is money.
Yeah.
It is money. Kind of someone who is not authorized. Like if we decide that for money decisions we need to have like
Mm-hmm.
community board members,
Yeah.
then it cannot be just like coordinator.
Okay. All right. I think that's the clarification that I really needed to move forward. So at least now we have a distinction between Wise Next and the community board, as well as the community board coordinator. So right now he's writing like the responsibilities of the community board coordinator, which includes the community board backlog, updating, scheduling, capturing the results of the community board, and all that, right?
But again, kind of community board like backlog is just like it's kind of a decision, a type of a decision.
Hmm.
Like whomever runs community board backlog,
Yeah.
it's not the person who will run community board backlog.
Hmm.
It's the person who will run over our decisions, like
Hmm.
just to document what was decided, nothing else.
Okay.
It's not a person who even knows what is going on there. In the best case scenario, it should be
Hmm.
some person who will know, but eventually, just kind of,
Anyone can.
if we decided on community board, we decided to, sorry, what?
So like anyone can
In the
draft.
community board, in,
They don't need to be
anyway,
conversant
yeah.
with the decisions being made.
No, kind of like again, this is like a more assistant secretary job. Yeah,
Ah,
secretary will be.
all right, all right.
So if we made this, if we made a decision as a community board, if
Mm-hmm,
we made a decision to fund
mm-hmm,
Kenny X redesign,
mm-hmm.
then this person say, okay, this is the decision, right?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm,
we need to update the backlog. Again, backlog is just a bureaucratic document
mm-hmm.
which is reflecting, like we in terms of the community, we may kind of call it differently, not backlog.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, why we are calling it backlog? Maybe this will be kind of confusion.
True.
Just like a list of funded projects, right? List of
Yes.
funded operations.
Mm-hmm. That
Okay,
sounds
come
better.
up with a good name
Okay.
instead of backlog. Then it will be like no such confusion. Yeah,
There's,
maybe.
okay. There's also one more thing. Like we mentioned that before the community board takes place, we need to have these discussions prior in the welcome in the community boards. No, yes, in the community board space. So before the community board event take place,
Hmm.
we need to have these discussions
Yeah,
in the community board space, right? So
most
how?
most of the decisions must be made
Mhm.
without the meeting, right?
Okay.
Just like on the space.
So is it the members of the community board to raise these decisions on the space, or how do we go about this?
I
Because
have no opinion. I don't
this,
know.
okay, I had this idea where we can have a post of this collected suggestions, ideas, and proposals that people want to proposal of projects that people want to work on posted in like a one post, and then in the comment section we can have like the discussion. After the discussion we can have another post to finalize what has been decided from the previous post.
I like I'm flexible. I have
Okay.
no opinion. You
Really?
have more ideas.
Yeah.
Just go for it.
All right. I think
My requirement is that my
mhm,
requirement is like community board must be kind of must approve.
mhm,
There it should be maybe kind of some like tool, like even like making decision tool,
mhm.
like we had the discussion before, and
Yes.
Natalia probably found it's kind of it should be voting. It
Mhm,
should be voting kind of even like community board members will vote, right?
mhm. Yeah.
And kind of and say, okay, we do this, we do this, we do this, we do this. Yes or no? If the decision is made, it's no any kind of no any point to raise it during our event, our meeting.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So we will just save our time.
Yeah.
The board must be much shorter
Shorter.
instead of kind of
Mhm,
Rahim or like Evanson,
mhm,
tell us what you will do.
mhm.
Oh, I'm in a noisy place. Give me
Yeah.
kind of like 10 minutes to get to a normal place. Or by the way, kind of and it
Yeah.
is not a community board.
It
It's
is.
not how it should be. It's not
Mhm,
how efficient. It's not how it's done.
mhm.
The best kind of decisions should be made just like online.
Yeah.
Like, let's say, for instance, you are
Mhm,
telling me like and Natalia and whomever is in the community board,
mhm,
like members, you're
mhm,
saying, oh, I feel we need to have SOP for community board because it's
mhm.
disorganized.
Yeah.
And I will put it to the vote. Kind
Mhm,
of, do you agree? Yes or no?
mhm.
I agree. Natalia agrees.
Yeah. So
Decision is made.
this is taking place
One backlog item.
in the space.
Yeah,
This
kind
is
of the
taking place.
project, like, yeah,
Okay. Oh, makes sense. Makes sense. So
it
this
must be
means
just like in the space. No any kind of no point to raise to the event.
the event.
In the kind of in the meeting,
Mm-hmm.
community board meeting. Let's call
Mm-hmm.
it meeting.
Yeah.
Community board meeting
Mm-hmm.
should deal only with their issues in question.
Okay.
Like if there is a real dispute, let's
Mm-hmm.
say we don't agree.
Yeah.
Like uh, Rahim feels we need to invest in KNX redesign,
Mm-hmm.
and like I say, I'm not sure, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a discussion that
Mm-hmm.
we have many people who go to KNX website,
Yeah.
and we really losing something,
Mm-hmm.
and we really need to update it,
Mm-hmm.
and and the update will cost that money, right?
Yeah.
Or will be done kind of about with this budget.
Mm-hmm.
Then we kind of then we will during the meeting we'll approve. Okay, like Rahim said, like it
We'll have like a
needed
discussion. Correct. Yeah.
like 500 $500, but we eventually decided to go with 300. Right? We
Mm-hmm.
decided this is needed, but we will go with $300.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Correct. So also this means that we will end up having less community boards, not weekly.
Why not? Weekly is good. Just like it can be 15 minutes. It don't doesn't need to be like 1 hour.
But what if there's nothing to like discuss in this regard? Let's say we've made the decisions on the space. So now during like the meeting, as you've mentioned, like this is where
Yeah.
to iron out disputes or iron out decisions that have decisions that were difficult to make in the space.
If we have no kind of issues to
Uh-huh.
discuss,
Mm-hmm.
so then just say, oh, hooray, it's a good week. Good week.
Yeah.
We did our work well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No need to meet. I don't see any reason to meet then. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. Okay.
But it can be, by the way,
Mm-hmm.
let's say if we take, for instance, American Parliament, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have many times, then they have no quorum, nor like people, or they will not make decision.
Mm-hmm.
But they are required to do it, let's say, like once a week, for instance.
Okay.
So they do so-called like pro forma. They call it pro forma,
Mm-hmm.
like for the format, like right,
Mm-hmm.
pro forma,
Mm-hmm.
pro forma like session.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, the chair is coming, the
Mm-hmm.
secretary is coming, and
Mm-hmm.
they say, kind of, ladies, gentlemen,
Mm-hmm.
we have no issues today.
Mm-hmm.
Like everything is resolved.
Mm-hmm.
Like go to our our list of funded project for any questions. Kind of okay. Bye bye. See
Ah,
you next week.
oh,
Right?
okay, okay,
Yeah, they run it. They run it anyway.
okay. What I see, probably we can also like include the decisions that were made during the week, maybe just to mention them.
Yeah, it's good. Also, good idea. So then, like nor like just like the coordinator who will run it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say kind of this is a pro forma event. All
Mm-hmm.
decisions are already made.
Mm-hmm.
We discuss this and that, and kind of and see you guys next week, right?
Yeah,
It can be. I don't know, like
yeah,
even 5 minutes video. Why all the videos should be like 1 hour, right?
yeah.
Why not 5 minutes?
Correct. Yeah, that's about it. I think now it's much more clear and
Okay.
it's workable now. I don't have any
It
questions
will be. It should.
in regards to this unless
Okay.
maybe you want to add something.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
No. We're done. I feel like
Mhm.
we're happy. We should be happy. At
Yeah.
least like
All right. Uh,
I'm happy that we're moving. We are moving